The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me.
To the Most High. Excuse me. Tonight we are going into put away sin. Put away sin, right? We've been talking recently about the culture in Israel. Been talking about, a lot of the way that people try and twist the word or just all out obey their own opinions and to get, to exercise their will. And then when we have instances and things that happen in our lives, that's when we want to turn back to the Most High, right? Hard times hit, and that's when it seems like everybody starts to find their faith, right? But we shouldn't be waiting for those times. We shouldn't be waiting for those disasters to turn to the Most High and be sincere in our repentance to get back to how the Father desires for us to be. Let's start off with Isaiah. Isaiah 59 and verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear.
Go ahead.
But your iniquities have separated between you and your God, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
So a lot of people, this is in the truth, as we call it, and out, right? There's been a number of times trying to get people, persuade people to follow the Lord, to follow the Bible. And people will have these gripes. Well, where was God at this time in my life? And where was God when that happened? I seen somebody recently on Instagram. It said, what did it say? It said, what would you do if you seen Jesus about to get crucified? Something like that. And people was like, I would turn the same way he turned during slavery. And this is not like, one person. Yeah, this is like a community. There were thousands of people, agreeing. And a lot of times people have this frustration with the Most High because they don't understand. And they refuse to actually look in the Bible and see what is it that the Lord requires. It don't even make sense, the ideology of the world, that the Most High created us as humans to basically worship us. Because that's what it is. When you think that God is just on call for every little thing that you want and God is just your genie in a bottle, well, he created you to worship you? That makes no sense, right? And that's a lot of people's mentality, in so much that when they don't get what they want from God, they become frustrated. But he's saying, look, it ain't that I can't hear you. When you was going through it and you was praying, he said, it's not like I couldn't hear it. I'm choosing not to listen because you continue to sin. I'm choosing not to listen because you're not in the right space. You're not in the right state to approach. And that's the issue with a lot of our people, in and out what we call the truth, right? Let's read verse 3.
Verse 3. For your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongue have muttered perverseness.
So there's an issue, right? And he's saying this is what you got to do to clean yourself up, to repent. Let's go to Proverbs 28:9. I remember hearing this one in high school, which is wild because in all these environments that they tell you you're not supposed to talk about religion, there's always, especially Esau, that'll make exceptions to the rule. This dude was a teacher sitting up here in, I think, like English class or something, telling us about the Bible. And he was like, well, you can't say that, just because you're not doing, everything perfectly, but that God doesn't want to hear you. But that's what the Bible tells us. 28:9.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination.
So when you have all these people now in the truth, right? And again, he's not a genie in a bottle where every single thing you're going to get, it's up to the Most High to grant what he will. But if you're not even at a space of keeping the law, then you know for a fact them prayers aren't going to get through. He said it's more than just I don't want to hear them. He said they're an abomination. That's like the worst thing that you could be doing when you sit up here and you don't listen. And again, right, we're made in his image. How do you feel when somebody doesn't listen to anything that you have to say? They could care less about how you want to be respected, how you want to be spoken to, how you want your house treated, how you want, them to behave in your space. And they turn around after tossing everything to the side that you care about and is near and dear to your heart and then ask you for something. Mm-hmm. It's like an insult. Like, how dare you? After everything. Now, mind you, we're in a relationship with the Most High where he said, look, for one, I'm not going to do away with y'all until the stars of heaven. He left some stipulations, right? But also, there is no space that the Most High does not occupy. He created all things, not just what we see on this earth, but even all the things that we can't see in the heavens. There is no escape in the Most High. So every action that we take, he's aware of. It even says in the Apocrypha, he hears all of our thoughts. There's not a way that we can try and finagle and find some other opportunity to be able to live. This is how the Most High has set things up to be, right? So when he says, matter of fact, let's go to Sirach 32. That was all of that?
Yeah.
Let's go to Sirach. So, and the Most High, that's the thing, right? The Most High is not just dealing with, oh, how did you do today? Oh, how did you do yesterday? Oh, you've been doing good for 2 days? Okay, then you did good Monday and Tuesday. I'll make you rich Wednesday. The Most High is looking at how have you been doing for your life?
Bro, for generations.
Yeah, for generations.
Yeah.
There's things that you didn't even directly do that could be brought to your doorstep in judgment. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people get to a place of like, man, I'm doing what I understand to do. And I'm really striving, but you still having hard times. Sometimes it is judgment. Mm-hmm. But it might not even be, for lack of better words, your judgment. This might not even be a sin that's laid on your doorstep because of what you did, but how's your father and his father? And how much of a product are you like them? But they are in a space where they may never repent. They might go to the grave refusing to acknowledge the Most High. They might not even see some of the things that you might get put through, but you're the one that 2-3 generations later, the Most High is still making payments or having you make payments on your forefathers.
Yep.
It's deep. Sirach 32 and 17.
Sirach chapter 32 and verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
So there's a lot of ways that this comes into play, right? You can't be wicked for a time, and that's the thing is, it says, findeth an excuse according to his will. You can't be wicked for a time because that's what's convenient at the time, and then be like, oh, it's all good, because the Most High not going for that. The Most High doesn't, it says, the scriptures tell us he never gave any license to sin, right? Now we know that we see in the scriptures, he's merciful, right? There's been those that were doing well and they had their slip ups and they had their pitfalls. But the thing is, he's choosing case by case. Will I give this person mercy or no? Will I give this situation mercy or no? That's why he said, I'm going to have mercy upon whom I'm going to have mercy upon. Don't think that it's just guaranteed and it's just automatic. And so when we dealing with the things that we have to deal with in the world, you know, we dealing with money, we dealing with the pride of life, right? You're dealing with things that are necessities and desires. And sometimes the two get misconstrued, and we start to violate and start to overcross boundaries and cross into sin for a desire that is not of the Most High. We was talking about that just last week. Sometimes the Most High puts a stop to what you think you're going to do because that's not the direction he wants you to go in. But it gets even further because that's like an advanced level of, okay, I'm doing the right thing. Some things are just not meant to be. But a lot of times that's not the situation for our people. Your average Israelite, that's most of the time not the case. When you look out at Israel as a whole right now, that's not your average Israelite. Your average Israelite, before you even get into the truth, it's just sin. And it's just whatever is convenient, whatever, I'm going to do whatever. Some people are rebellious. They don't want to hear nothing about the Most High God. They'll say they want to hear, but then it's like that, this people honoreth me with their tongue kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. But whatever it is that you love, he's basically, the scriptures show us, and behavior shows us, that's what you're going to find a way to get. And if you choose to do it the wrong way, you're never going to sit up here and be reproved and allow the law to work. Because it's not like people don't have the Bible. Mm-hmm. It's not like people don't have access. For the most part, everyone's got the same Bible, or everyone has access to the Bible. Yeah. But then you get these new doctrines and these new understandings and these new ideas of what it means to be righteous. This new philosophy. And our people be so disobedient and so disconnected from God, we come up with just stuff to help us sleep at night. God works in mysterious ways. Mm-hmm. But the Bible says he's not the author of confusion. So you shouldn't have too many times where you just have no idea what's going on around you. You should be able to look at the scriptures and find an answer. You know what? This is because of something that I recently did. You know what? I come from sinners, unfortunately. And this is probably penance for them. You know what? This is a testament of my faith, or a test of my faith. But if you're not even fighting and put away the sin, there is no testimony, because what did you overcome? What's been overcome? What's been trampled under your feet? What victory have you gotten if you do not even make the decision, you know what, I'm going to follow the Most High? And this world teaches us that that's what you're supposed to do, but we know that this world is not for us. So the wickedness that's commonality and commonplace in this world is like that for a reason, because it's designed against the Israelite man and the Israelite woman. It's designed to keep us in a space of sin. It's designed to keep us in captivity. It's designed to keep us away from the Father. Because when you look in the scriptures, when we had the Father, we ruled the earth. Mm-hmm. So all the other nations are in subjection to us. And what is it? It's like what 18 nations in the Bible, I think, like that? Mm-hmm. So if we rule, it's one on top and 17 others subservient. But while we sin, it's 17 on top and one subservient. Mm-hmm. Who do you think these other nations are going to try and set their circumstances or set our circumstances up to serve? Why would they give us the tools to be able to overcome our captivity? So don't look out into the world and say, oh, well, you hear all these things about how we deserve to be happy. That's such a first world issue. People in other countries walking miles to get water, they're not concerned about their happiness, but everything is going into their survival. Mm-hmm. So they don't have to battle the same battle that we have with morality and principle, because it's not necessarily a whole lot of temptation. It's probably a little bit more average. Money, women, certain pleasures. But think about this, right? Because he just said your prayer is an abomination. A lot of times, not only do you find congregations out there that are teaching whatever it is that you want, and it's in the world, but sometimes our own minds start to do that. And, well, you know what? I'm going to just do this violation for a year until I'm in a better space. And then when I get into a better space, I'm going to turn fully to the Lord. You know how many people have told me since I was younger, like, you got the rest of your life to follow religion. Mm-hmm. It's sad to say that person is no longer here on this earth. And I thought to myself, damn, so did you. You had the rest of your life. Now you looking at me because I expectedly am going to have more years living than you are because I'm young, but that doesn't change the fact that we all got to stand before the Father in judgment. Just because you old, that doesn't like disqualify you from obedience or disobedience. And it doesn't mean you have to wait until you're old to do right. But again, that's like a culture thing amongst our people. You go run the streets and everybody praying for you and grandma got your back and, you know, they going to bail you out knowing you a monster. And then when you get old and you got that bad hip and you got that limp and you got them pains from running the streets and doing what you was doing and breaking down your body in sin, now you go give your hobbled self to the Lord and it's just so special because that's all you got. That's not how the Most High think. He said it's better that you do this while you young because you have something to give. You can stay up late. You can wake up early. You can move longer, get tired slower. That's why a lot of times it's better to have kids in your youth if you can. They be like, oh, go focus on your career, make all this money. Then you be 40, you be tired as all get out, sleepy, and you got a newborn baby. It's hard. You should have done that. You was probably, 20, in your 20s, early 30s. It would have been easier on you because your body's aging, right? So now, a couple of scenarios, right? A nurse that wears pants to be able to work because she values money over the law. Don't sit up here and think the Most High views that as a small thing. He says those that, a woman that wears that which pertains to a man and a man that puts on a woman's garment, he said both are abomination. That's not a light sin. Because, and people be like, well, that's just my job. Okay, well, what's the difference between you doing that and somebody that is in the adult film industry? And they do porn, and they just like, well, look, this is just my job. Yeah, but it's adultery. So the same thing when a sister or is wearing pants, or let's just say a man is an actor, so he gonna put on a dress for a role. That's an abomination. You can't, just because it's a little bit easier to abstain from one than the other, turn your nose up at eating pork, but then turn around and wear pants, and turn around and wear a dress, or turn around and break the Sabbath. All of those things are equivalent in the eyes of the Most High as abominable. All of those things are horrible and disgusting unto him. But what do? We'll convince ourselves, well, this is going to be for a time. Well, once I get into this position, I'm going to be better off. And by the time, but guess what? Again, if you dealing with sins from generations ago, you don't think the sins that you committed in this life are that all the more crucial? The sins that we commit in this life is all the more crucial in our judgment? People be like, oh, I did this, did that, didn't sell my soul. Selling your soul is not the cartoonish looking, big old devil, red looking dude with some horns. You go into a room and it's all these real powerful old white men with a contract of fire. Like people be having like this movie montage perspective of what things look like. Selling your soul is literally when you giving up the opportunity of salvation in exchange for what you want. It might not say sign here and your soul is now property of so-and-so conglomerate. Your soul is now property of so-and-so family or just the devil. Yeah. It's you giving up your opportunity at salvation. And the thing is, we're not talking about the world. Let's talk about Israel, who knows they're Israel. There's not a pass. If anything, you're going to get judged even more harshly because you know better. I don't expect much from a stranger. If I'm out at a store and somebody's looking at my wife, I'm not finna trip. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't be disrespectful. That'll kind of, make me feel some type of way. But if somebody just look at her, I'm not going to be like, bro, you need to be more loyal. Respect. You a stranger to me. You don't know me. You don't know her. It might not even be malicious. They might think, oh, that's his cousin, that's his sister, whatever. Right. But now if I know you and I open up to show you who I am, and I open up to show you what I value, and I welcome you into my presence, my home, into knowing to knowing what I stand for and what I am, and now you disregard me, it's an insult on a new level. Because you're not a stranger. Because you're not an alien, because you're not a heathen. You're the chosen. And of all of the chosen, there's only a few of the chosen that even acknowledges the Most High. And of those that acknowledge the Most High, there's even fewer that do right. How much more is it an insult to the Father when you know better and you're of the few that's saying, I'm going to do right, and then you go and start committing abominations out of convenience? Mm-hmm. That's major. Let's go to Hebrews 10 and 26.
My brother cooking.
All praises.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26.
Uh-huh.
For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
So if we sin willfully, meaning I'm just going to do what I want to do. I just really want this thing. It could be a car. It could be a nice living situation. You could be on the verge of like, man, I got this crazy connect in China. I got this crazy connect in Africa. I got all these things that are all lining up at the same time, and I just need a little bit of extra money in the meantime. So I'm going to go work, on the Sabbath this week because they giving double time, and that should get me, guess what? Now, you think that you did good, or you think with the money that you're going to get from that business, you're going to bless people. Or the money that you're going to get from this opportunity, man, I'm going to be able to plug Jake's in and everybody's going to be in a better position. But guess what? If you had to sin to get it, it's not a blessing. And it's crazy because it's people who think like this. I've had a brother literally tell me, well, how do you know Joseph and Moses, how do you know that they never sinned for the sake of the people? I said, what are you talking about? Well, if you came across like a crazy deal and it's on the Sabbath, but it's going to benefit, I said, then it's not a blessing. You're going to violate the law and destroy your opportunity, or potentially, very more than likely, destroy your opportunity. The Most High has never had an issue with working it out for Israel. Even when there wasn't a way. He would make miracles. He parted oceans and stopped time and rained down fire from heaven. You don't think he can find another opportunity to get you what you need? But he don't want you to sin to get it. That's definitely not the way. Because I don't see anywhere in the scripture where somebody was like, man, this is wrong, but the God of Israel be with me. And, hey, brother. Oh, partner. You start to sin and you go on that path, the God of Israel is not with you. Mm-mm. He said he's angry with the wicked every day. You know how much energy, you ever been mad every day? Most High don't get tired.
Yeah, I've tried, but
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After maybe even after a couple hours, you be so mad. It's gonna be one of two things happen. You either gonna get sleepy, or you gonna let it go.
Right.
You gonna burn yourself out, or you just gonna be like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You think you got me, but if it was a sin anyway, I mean, you really didn't get away with it. Mm-hmm. But the Most High said, I'm not like y'all. My anger doesn't burn the Most High out, where he's tired of, all right, man, I've been angry at the wicked for 2,000 years. I'm gonna just let it all go. He said, no, I got something for you. Yep. And then when I give you that something, you're going to stay there forever. Mm-hmm. He can judge us in this life, and then there's a set judgment in the next life, and it's for eternity. Let's go to Proverbs, speaking of judgments in this life. Sometimes we go through things, and they're a test. And Bishop Tzion was just going into that. What was that, last week in Wisdom of Solomon? Mm-hmm. Like there are just certain things that are in the course of life. Yeah. Whether you be righteous or whether you be wicked. You can see plenty of our righteous foremothers had a hard time getting conceiving, right? You see plenty of times where our forefathers didn't have the most finances. You see plenty of things like that. But they were righteous. Mm-hmm. So they would have a chance to step back. Have a chance to inquire, hey, brother, you a righteous man. Where do you think I need to improve at? Where do you think? They had that. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. But nowadays, Let's let the scripture speak. Let's start at Proverbs 1 and let's start at verse 23.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you.
So our God is a just God, and he don't let stuff slide, but he said, look, if you really make the decision to be ready to be down, he said, I got you. I'll make you'll be able to understand this. People will be, I can't read that Bible because it's too hard. Yeah, because I hate to say it, I don't hate to say it, but it's like the truth is, it might not be for you.
Huh?
You might not be one of the ones that he's given understanding. And then there's different levels within that. But he said, if you will turn at my reproof, when people make the decision, you know what, I don't fully understand this Bible, but I'm going to keep reading. There'll be parts where you can understand it plainly. Sometimes there's parts where you need to look up a definition. Sometimes there's parts you need to look in the concordance. And sometimes there's parts that you might not get it for a while, if you get it at all. Maybe 6 months down the line, all of a sudden it clicks. Or like the eunuch in the New Testament, someone explains it to you. You be believing something or having something in your mind for 10 years, and then somebody comes and explains it, and it was like, oh.
Right.
But that only happens if you stay on the path. If you choose to be like, I'm going to go do my own thing, you're never going to get that understanding. And by the time you do realize all of this was true and everything was right and there was not one lie written in this book, it's going to be a rude awakening because of all the years and the continuation of willful sin. Go ahead.
Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and I would none of my reproof.
He said, and would none of my reproof, meaning you didn't want nothing I had to say. So the old saying, what they say, talking to you is like talking to a brick wall. He said, I called and you refused. It really boils down to those choices, right? What are you going to do? And it don't even always have to be life or death, because that's a lot of times people like to deal in extremes. It could be in your everyday life. It can be when your pockets get tight. Because maybe that's not your temptation, but some people be tempted to go out there and rob. Yeah. To go out there and do what they know to do. To go out. The same way some people are tempted to fall back into Christmas, some people are tempted to fall back into the streets. Some people are tempted to fall back into fraud and all other type of sin, is depending on where a person comes from. All of those things are a temptation, but you can make the decision to either hang up the phone on the sin or hang up the phone on the Father. And he said, when I called and you refused, and I gave you advice, and you didn't care about none of my counsel, again, how does that make you feel? You trying to help somebody, you love that person, and they could care less about you or what you got to say. It's like, yeah, after everything I would do for you, after everything I've already done for you. The crazy part about it is the Father don't have to prove himself to us. We proving ourselves to him. Right. He was with us, been performed miracles, been saved us out of all types of calamities. How many times just within the Old Testament alone, but throughout the Bible have we been saved from genocides and nations that wanted to wipe us out in our entirety? They said the men, the women, the children. They wasn't trying to let the kids live. Oh, it's just a baby. What did the baby do? They was, swinging the babies against rocks. Didn't Esau say when we was sojourning, he said, oh, look, they got all the old people in the back. Let's just hit the back. Let's just take out all the elders. At least we thin their numbers. The elders still have their place. They still are a wealth of knowledge. And they put things into perspective. A young man might be thinking about the future and start to feel like, but an elder's like, look, man, I already didn't live my life. I got experience. But on top of that, I might not be here too much longer. They're not thinking in the same sense of mortality that a young man is thinking. They're able to pull themselves out and more than likely think what needs to be done rather than what's convenient for the moment. Right. So Esau is like, okay, well, if all we can get is the elders, then we'll take the elders. They don't have an issue with that. He said, you would none of my reproof. You didn't want to hear none of what I was saying. But then guess what? When stuff gets hard, everybody find their faith. Mm-hmm. I bet you during the time of Noah, he went out and he was prophesying, look, there's a big flood that's coming. Everything's going to be washed away. People probably wasn't trying to hear that. I think at that time, it hadn't even rained. Wasn't it just dew?
It hadn't rained, no.
So they was like, water from the, and then guess what? But I bet you, when it started to rain, some people was shook and was like, oh, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe when it got ankle deep, more people started to believe. When it got knee deep, more people started to believe. But I bet you by the time the water was to everybody's chin, there wasn't a faithless person in that water. But it's too late. I bet you when the water started to bob up and down with people's noses, I bet you there was a whole lot of faith in that water. I believe. I know now. But it's already too late. The ark has been sealed. The number is set. And we care about our people. We don't want this to be any of the people that we're trying to save, any of the people that we're able to reach, any of the people that we're hoping to persuade to righteousness, or ourselves. We hoping that it doesn't take for those types of circumstances for our people to finally turn to the Most High and say, okay, it is God. Mm-hmm. Let's go to, matter of fact, read on.
Verse 26. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you.
Go ahead.
Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
And then at that point, because you know what? Again, we can easily understand this based off of what we feel. You ever finally you've been begging somebody to do something for you, and then you finally get it from them, and it's like, man, I went through so much trouble asking you and not receiving and being frustrated without that I don't even want this no more. You can keep it.
Right.
That's when hopefully you don't need that relationship, or hopefully you able to repair and it's not an end all be all type of situation. Because that's a cold place to be in when you finally got what they looking for and they say, I don't even want it no more.
Yep.
The Most High, he tells us, look, this is how I think. I'm going to give you a chance when everything is cool, when you can weather the storm and everything ain't really, it ain't that bad. I'm going to call. And while you feel like you don't need me, I'm going to see what you do. But if you going to sit up here and ignore me and keep hanging up, choosing what you want to do and being willful, when it finally does come the point that you call me back, I'm not going to answer. Mm-hmm. When you finally do say, oh, something is happening. Oh, Lord, I'm facing a sickness. Oh, Lord, I'm facing persecution. Oh, Lord, I'm facing poverty. He said, no, don't worry about it. Don't call me. Oh, who they calling on? And then even more so, he said, I'm going to laugh. He said, not only am I going to ignore, I'm going to laugh. I can't believe, look at this nigga right here. Look at this. You going to sit up here and call me now because you need something? I thought, man, phone wasn't working every time I needed something, but now that you in need, man, I'm getting blown up. Oh, man, again? He said, I'm not hearing that. That's a tough place. When we get to a space of I do want to do right, and he's like, oh, I don't want to hear that. Or you in a space where you truly, well, now I always need you, Lord, but now I really see that I need you. Oh, yeah? That's crazy. You can debate theology and all this philosophical stuff all you want to. You're going to see who's in control and who needs who.
Right.
Yes,
No.
A couple more. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, 14. Again, we have the chance to know better and to do better. Let's not be these people. I don't have a desire to relate to everything that's being talked about in the Bible when it comes down to the wicked. I don't have that desire. And I don't desire to see my people in this circumstance, to just, you know what I'm saying, or to gloat over somebody going through a tough time. It ain't a beauty. It's terrible because it's like, damn, what can you do for them? You can't do nothing. That's why I say it's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of the Lord, because can't nobody save you. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 27.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 27.
Uh-huh.
For the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
Idolatry is putting anything before the Most High, worshiping, serving anything before the Most High. So when you start serving your pockets, money is your God.
Mm-hmm.
When you start serving your own desires, excuse me, you your own God. You didn't put yourself a God before the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are what this world teaches and shows us and exposes us to. It's not like this is so foreign or this is like, whoa, that guy over there. It's not going to be some extreme, oh, yeah, the dude built a 80-foot statue in front of his house. That's idolatry. It's the little stuff that we do. The little ways that our people think, this is going to deliver me, that's going to deliver me, if the Lord allows it to.
Mm-hmm.
He's the source. Let's flip over to Sirach 23. Let's get 18 and 19.
Sirach chapter 23, verse 18. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me?
Mm-hmm.
I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts.
So for one, this scripture here, right, is talking about adultery. And this man feels comfortable in that sin because he's in darkness. But there's a lot of ways you can be in the dark and be confident in whatever sin it is that you desire and not let go, feeling like, oh, I'm good. I'm not seen. Like he turned in a blind eye for 15 minutes while I go do what I do, and then all right, now I'm back. And it's not just adultery. It's all manner of sin. He sees it all. And not only is he considering on the outside, he considering what's on the inside. He considering, all right, well, this person did this. What were they thinking at the time when they did that? Did they think they was cool and didn't nobody see them? And as long as I could be out here doing what I do and ain't nobody on me, then I'm good. As long as I could be out here and working my Sabbaths and nobody can see me, I'm good. As long as I could be out here wearing these pants and can't nobody see me, I'm good. As long as I could be out here, guess what? The darkness that we start to feel more confident, and it's that again, that's human nature. Everybody go out and do their dirt in the dark. People who rob, they not doing that broad daylight, most of them. They going to slide, you're not doing that broad daylight, most of them. You going to fornicate, what time the club open? We open up at 7, we open up at 9. Everybody said what they say, the freaks come out at night. All this, that's when everybody feels more confident to go do their dirt. Mm-hmm. By daytime, you want to have a prestige about yourself. Oh my goodness, dance, twerk. What type of girl do you think I am? But then you go to the club at night and you feel a little more confident because it's darker in there. Mm-hmm. Then they turn the lights off in the building. Now you really don't know what's going on. I'm finna really cut loose.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. Right, oh man. It just gets worse and worse. And he said, the Most High is saying, you don't think I can see you? Mm-hmm. You don't think I can hear the thought that you're thinking while you do that, and you think I can't see you? Man, it's surreal. Yeah. Let's go to Judith. Let's go to Judith. There's a lot of verses in that one. Let's see what we get through. Let's start at verse 1.
Judith chapter
5 and verse 1.
Okay.
Yeah, brother.
Never mind. Judith chapter 5 and verse 1. Then was it declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Assur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war and had shut up the passages of the hill country and had forfeited all the tops of the high. What did I say? Oh, it had fortified, Salakia, all the tops of the high hills and had laid impediments in the campaign countries.
Let's drop down to verse 3.
Verse 3, and he said unto them, tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them or captain of their army?
So he said, he's saying that our people were preparing for war. So he's like, hold up, is that, they done blocked the roads and fortified? Is that a castle? Oh, no, I know that's not a watchtower. Oh, it's a fight. He said, man, tell me about these people. Give me the report. Give me the rundown. What type of king? Do they have a king? What kind of king? How do they have this power? Tell me about this people. Drop down to verse 6.
Verse 6, this people are descendant of the Chaldeans, and they sojourned hereunto in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of the Chaldea. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshiped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast him out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days.
So he starts breaking down the history, but wildly enough, he starts all the way back from Abraham. That's how well the story of the children of Israel was traveling through the heathen. It wasn't like, oh man, this people was in Egypt for a time. Like it ain't super far into our history, in hindsight. But that's like, what I would assume is the starting point for most people. He said, nah, they came from the Chaldees. And they wouldn't follow the other idols that the Chaldeans had, but they decided to follow the God of heaven. But they did know about Egypt. Drop down to verse 11.
Verse 11, therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dwelt subtly with them, and brought them low with laboring in brick, and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their God, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues. So the Egyptians cast him out of their sight.
They must have been talking to somebody. They must have been or reading. And guess what? You don't think the heathen recognized, oh, wait a minute. They were in Egypt. They were enslaved. We had total domination. And they did what? Oh, they cried to their God. So when you look out into the world and you see everything is opposed to us even having a remembrance of God, he said, because there's a risk when you even so much as cry out. I don't know how well the children of Israel were keeping the commandments in Egypt. I know that they had quite a few issues when they came out, so I could only assume it started where they were. They may not have been the most clean. They may not have been in the best space, but when they with one consent decided to call upon the Lord, he still had compassion. You don't think our enemies consider that to this day? We can't even let them think about God, or they can pray and do certain things, but they need to be so sinful he don't even want to hear them. And then what do people pray for? Oh, God, please help me get this job. Please help me get this car. Please help me get this type of, relationship or mate. This type of man, this type of woman. There'd be a lot of vanity. So we're not calling upon, I guarantee you, especially without the commandments, your average Israelite prayer is not talking about getting us out of here, out of America, freeing us from captivity. If you are in the truth, as we say, and you watch in class and you got family that's not, what would you say their prayers are? They probably praying they finna have a good Christmas. God, I just, it's so tough, and I want to do this for my babies. I know it's Jesus' birthday. Like, oh no, no, it's not his birthday. They prayers is on vanity and gifts and pleasures, and all in the name of a feast rooted in idolatry. So we calling out to God, but we saying the wrong stuff. As a whole, our people are not praying for freedom. Most people don't even, what we go back to Africa for? Well, not just Africa. It's like the top corner of Africa is Israel. So they already know, keep their minds occupied, keep them occupied in sin, keep them sinful, keep their hands bloody. And then they be like, these rappers be like, who you know that got to do what I do and didn't sell their soul? Man, you damn near didn't have one to begin with. You're a murderer. So don't be surprised when they go into the hood and they go into the projects and they find this dude that's so loyal to the soil, to his hood. They don't need to program his mind. He's already destroyed. Now they just need to give him a platform. All he rap about is killing people. They're like, okay, cool. We don't need to change this dude at all. We just need to get him out in front. Because when he raps about killing and he raps about sliding and he rap about the dope game and he rap about having all these thick women that's going to do, and she just doing, guess what? Oh, you make that lifestyle look appealing. You have the best looking women. You have the most riches. You have the nicest cars. You live in the nicest places. You're doing the most exciting things that a man can think to do. Now they just need him out in front. And all right, bro, do your stuff. Do that dance like you like to do. Sing that song like you like to sing it. And then he gonna have a 100,000, however many people he gonna have following him. Feeling like working a 9-to-5 is whack. Feeling like trying to make ends meet in this world the righteous way or without any type of iniquity is whack. And they knew that. Let's read verse 17.
Verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God that hateth iniquity was with him.
He said, look, as long as they don't sin, they prosper. Their bonds, their culture, their society, their relationship with the Most High, their victories in war, their economy, it booms when they're righteous. So our enemies know this. And now that's been the game plan. Not only can we get these niggas in slavery, how do we keep them there? Then you had some slave rebellions. Nat Turner wasn't the only slave rebellion. There was a number of slave rebellions. It was like every, I don't want to say decade, but it was every however many years almost, like on the dot. One might be, 50 years. The next one might be 55 or 60 or 90. But there were a lot of slave rebellions. They said, okay, we got them working. We got them working hard. But when you put the so-called Israelite in these tough times, that's when we see God. Okay, well, they need to keep the sin, but they need to be free. They need to have their good times too. Okay. They started off with a half-a-day Sunday. Then they said, all right, you can be free. Matter of fact, here, let's clear that barn out. Who you think owned the barn? It'd be some Edomite in charge of all of it. And they have, what was that off of Life? Something's Boom Boom Room. What was his name?
I forgot.
But basically, he was like, man, that's what I want to do. He wasn't chasing freedom.
Yeah.
He was like, when I get some money, I don't know if his name was Eddie, but he was like, man, I'm going to open up so-and-so's Boom Boom Room. Like, that's what our people want to do when we get on. We're not looking about nothing about, man, I'm going to bring all this reformation and I'm going to save my people. It'd be about flexing. It'd be about vanity.
It was the same thing on Sinners. They wanted to open up the juke joint.
Oh, man.
That was their whole mission and their whole goal.
So that's your average Israelite. I'm going to make it to the NFL. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to be successful because I'm going to have a better life. And all it be is you got $1 billion of chains on, $1 billion in cars, and you can have whatever woman you want, but they all be the same. They all be with the same women passing them around.
Yeah. Bro, they literally keep us focused on, like you said, chasing money, chasing the bag. And propaganda is out there to where we don't understand what's going on and why these wars happen. Right. And all we focus on is the money, the fame, and I'm going to get this girl, I'm going to drive this car. Right. That's what we're focused on. But, like, there's literally wars in the world that's going on, and our people don't understand that these wars happen because of sin.
Right.
Mind you, like, America goes into other countries and try to force their democracy on these people, and they tell us through the media and everything, oh, no, this is why we're going over there because, you know, there's terrorist groups, and no, they don't want you over there disrupting their program. Right. It's sin. It's the same thing right here. Mm-hmm. If they're in sin, we can go to war with them. In Judges, when the children of Israel sinned, war came up against them. Mm-hmm. Every single time. Right. So everybody's mind is just focused on, they got our mind focused on sin so much that we don't know what's going on. Like Adolf Hitler said it. A lot of people are saying it now, that the story is just out there. The Jews get kicked out of 109 countries, but it's like, why? Right. Sin. They're so diabolical, like it's crazy. But when we start to talk about, well, why is this? Our people never sit back and question, like, why is all this stuff happening? Why is this stuff going on? Mm-hmm. And all you have to do is just look in the Bible and just read it and say, it's sin. Right. It's sin.
Right.
It's sin. And then we're stuck in the matrix because they got us chasing the things that we desire, our lust. Mm-hmm. And James just says, where do wars, come amongst you guys? Is it not through your lust? But our people they don't seem to put two and two together.
And that's the new play. You don't have to make everybody do one thing. You just introduce everything to everybody. They'll choose their lust. Yeah. Some people be like, the street's not for me. But if I can be in office working, club hitting, traveling kind of, it's like choose just the same way you play a game, you choose your character. This character got certain special abilities and certain niches. They just lay all the sin out. All right, pick whatever one you want. Oh, okay, all right, perfectly fine. You're not really just a woman that has everybody kind of guy. Okay, well, here's some higher up. Here's some more exclusive women. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Okay, well, I mean, and then guess what? You're not taught righteousness, so you're not saying, okay, well, when I lay with this woman, this is my wife, and we're gonna repent. And no, you hit that one, and okay, she's giving you problems. Go get that one. She's pretty exclusive too. All right, cool. She got problems. What? You don't deserve that. Go get that next one. Problem? What? She gave you problem. Whole time they on both sides. They sitting up here pushing propaganda to the man, pushing propaganda to the woman, telling the woman don't let nobody in. All these movies, people be like, oh well, a lot of them older women was getting abused and beat on, and I'm like, well, do you know one? And I'm not saying because somebody could be like, no, I am. My grandma used to. Okay, but that wasn't everybody's situation. That's not everybody's family. That's not everybody's situation. And they try to criminalize submission. Criminalize righteousness. I can't remember the name of it. Basically, I get to a point where even if I do try and sit down and watch stuff, it'd be hard to kind of relax because there's always a message in it. You got this rich, powerful man who just has total control of everything. He's some super important, because again, you could pick the lane of sin you want to live in. Right. He's some super powerful corporate Mongol. And he just has the sweetest, most submissive wife. Oh, she's just so sweet. Like, she's like wear gloves to go grocery shopping sweet and carry a little basket of apples. She's like bake bread on a Sunday morning sweet. And this dude is just cold. She's just like, I love you, honey. And he's like, why was dinner cold? But to your average watcher, it's like, see, that's why I'm not going to do this for no man. Hold up, that's not real. That's not a real situation that you just really seen in somebody's real life that you're experiencing.
Right.
But you know what it does? It planted a seed. Mm-hmm. And you got the message.
Yep.
Now you on guard in a relationship. This is someone that you've chosen, that you've taken the time to get to know, and that you spent a lot of time with, and you got all these suspicions about him. Why? You know what? I told you I loved you, and you didn't say nothing. Huh? I got headphones on. I didn't even hear you. But your mind has already gone to, oh no, I'm like the girl in the movie. I'm with a rich, powerful, or just a powerful man that's going to go do whatever he wants to do, and there's just nothing I can do to control him, and I'm just going to be, oh, slow down. That's not your life. But guess what? Psychology will tell you the brain can't distinguish fiction from reality. What you believe is true. So when you start to think certain things about yourself, you're going to behave that way. When you start to, and that goes good and bad. You could literally look it up. God damn, man, I should have wrote down all the names of the things I'm referencing because I could just, they're so in my mind. There was he was a jujitsu instructor, and he was like, no. He used jujitsu to explain his point. I'm guessing that, man, let me see if I can find it. It was called something like the arm test. Let me see if I can find it. This more than likely, I might not be able to find it, but if I do, I'm gonna save it and keep it this time. This dude said, I want you to think you're an amazing person. I want you to think about all the people that love you. And I want you to, and he was like, everybody gives, what was your name? Give him a hand. He feeling on top of the world. He said, now the next thing I want you to do is I want you to hold your arm straight out and I want you to keep me from pushing it down. You know how strong that dude was because he felt so inspired? The instructor was trying hard to push and force his arm down, but he felt so inspired and so powerful, he couldn't. He said, now I want you to think about all your mistakes. And I want you to remember the people that don't like you and this, and that. He said, now resist my arm. He put his arm down like he wasn't fighting. I said, damn. So your enemies know this. They spend billions knowing this. Coca-Cola spends billions of dollars in just advertising to get you to buy soda. How much more to keep you in captivity? How much more to be able to rule the world? That's why Esau is able to operate like a husband with a good wife. He able to go do whatever he set his mind to because that home is taken care of because I'm going to have these niggas build it.
Yep.
I'm going to have these Mexicans build it. Oh, I'll be all right. I can go into another country and see what they got going on and destabilize their economy and then push my economy in there to get control because I got the niggas building up home.
Yep.
I can go over here and take over and smuggle in, or I can go over here and get rid of their clean energy initiatives. And then guess what I can come up with? I can go and sell my oil.
And we're not worried nothing about that. Because they got wars overseas, and then creating civil war over here, and then creating podcast war over here as well. Like we arguing with each other on podcasts.
Whatever Esau got us so bad, it's like whatever you want to be involved with, you do that. You just make sure you show up to work. You just make sure you're useful.
That's it.
Don't you ever stop being useful to me.
That's it.
That's what it is. Whatever you do, I don't care if you want to go out every weekend. I don't care how many women you want to sleep with. I don't care. Man, don't you ever stop being useful.
Stay in sin.
Oh yeah, they'll never tell you an Israelite. Let's go to 1 Samuel 2:6. That's why Esau doesn't mind. As much as they're like, oh, stop the anti-Semitism, and they don't mind getting as much. They don't mind that attention as much as they make it seem like they do, because with everything that they say, they'd be like, the Jews. He said, y'all still don't know your identity, so as long as you believe that we're the Jews, you can keep saying that you hate Jews because you're still saying that we are the people of this book. The more you engage in that hatred and you're saying these are the devil, the more that you're not saying these are the devil and these are those that wish they were Jews and are not. The more you're not saying that, and you keep saying the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, they like you still putting it out there in people's minds that we are the people of the book. Yeah. It's psychological.
And you know what's even crazier? And the Most High is just amazing. Like, this place is really the place of confusion. It's really Babylon. You have all these people, for example, Candace Owens, She's very studied. She's smart as hell. She does her research. She digs, and digs. But like she knows that, she knows that the wicked runs the world, but she still can't put two and two together that she's an Israelite. Just smart but dumb. Right? But there's a lot of them out there that would say, well, these people are this, but can't even put two and two together. That's how bad it is. Like, you think you're on to something, but you're really not on. You haven't got the answer yet.
That's why they don't mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give you a podcast.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So close yet so far.
Yet so far. But you see what they did. You see what they did to Nick Cannon.
Right.
See what they did to Kanye. Oh, it was real quick. It happened fast. A lot of them, it happened fast because they were on to something. They were on to something. But a lot of these other people, and that's why it's like, bro, we be focused on the wrong stuff. So, and that's why in the scripture we read in Judith, as long as we keep them in sin, as long as we keep their minds occupied on the things we want their minds to be occupied on, we got them. We got them. We win. Yeah.
Yep.
1 Samuel
2 and 6.
1 Samuel chapter 2. Chapter 2 and verse 6. The Lord killeth, and the Lord maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave, and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor, and maketh rich. He bringeth low, and lifteth high.
So while we sitting up here, again, we don't know. We don't understand that it's the Lord. Because even whatever it is, so let's just say you like, oh, I want to serve God. They like, oh, that's perfectly fine because we got a million churches out here for you. Christian churches. We got all these different religions. What do you like? What you having? You want some, pick your poison. You want some Christianity? You want some Catholicism? Oh, yeah, no, those are white man's religions. I got, all right, what's Muslim? They be like, I got something for you. White man's religion. You're right. Then they be like, oh, not a Muslim, not a Christian. Okay, you're looking for something different. Okay, you ever heard of frequencies? Oh, you do? So you're interested in frequencies. Okay, you ever heard of chakras? Oh, you like the chakras. You know what yoga really originated? Buddhism. Or you just believe in the universe. Oh, the universe is sending me signals. Brother, you might be sick. The universe told me which part. But you know what that is? That's your modern day idolatry. Because if you create an idol, we be like, oh, hell, the water bottle. But guess what? It didn't tell me anything to do. How do I know what the water bottle wants me to do? I got to think for it. So whose thoughts is it really? You create an idol and then you make your thoughts that idol's thoughts. It's only you. That's why in that same chapter talking about idolatry, he said, damn, if you're going to worship anything, at least worship yourself. You're greater than the idols you're creating. You didn't create a name, a face, character traits, preferences, pet peeves, all in the name of your idol. You created them. You created festivals and what's needed for that festival. And if it's acceptable and not acceptable, that all came from your mind. He said, if anything, you're so much better than these idols. Now, if we've been created and we're that incredible, imagine how incredible our Creator is. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 7. We only got 2 more. Here's another big issue. This has always been a topic of conversation. It's not like when you start talking about marriages, it's some new thing. It's people in the world that have difficult marriages and some successful ones. It's people who are Christians with tough marriages, people who are married to pastors with tough marriages. I grew up in a church with a tough marriage, grew up Muslim with a tough marriage, grew up on the Middle East with a tough marriage. Marriage has always been something that is not just a light thing and not just something that can just It don't just happen. And that's what the world teaches us. And then when we go out and we looking for this love that they've been showing us ever since we were kids, we get confused and blindsided. First, it's a whole, don't think that it's some small thing to Esau. It's small to us. I still got a little girl. She's my little princess. Okay, sit her in front of Disney movies. The first thing that she learns is she's going to define her value based off of her marriage and her man. So now I have to get married and I have to be. But then when you get married, you've also been being fed BET movies, Lifetime movies. So you got a mix of wanting that cheesy old 90s romance. He's standing in the rain. Oh, he's so romantic. I'm not standing in the rain. I'm not standing outside your window with the boombox, sister. Oh, see, he doesn't care because I'm not going to be an idiot. But guess what? That's been programmed into you. Mm-hmm. So first, she needs the marriage. That's what the princess does. She needs the marriage because even though the princess was rich and powerful, she needed that man no matter where that man came from. And of course, the princess never wants to listen to her dad. Listening to your dad is lame. Oh, they're pushing these ideas from childhood.
Right.
Then they get older. Okay, they ready to go look for themselves. Tyler Perry, it's dangerous. Marriage is scary. Marriage is tough. Guard yourself. Never give you. They be showing us that kind of stuff in movies where somebody gets like this uploaded conscious and it's instantaneous. But guess what? Imagine if that uploaded conscious and those ideas took years to get into them. We detach ourselves. We look at movies like The Matrix. Or even Call of Duty, the numbers, Mason, what do they mean? Psychological warfare and all that type of stuff. And we see that can't be me because I was never tied to a chair and forced to watch a screen. Well,
right.
If you take away the restraints, haven't you sat a lot of time in front of a screen being programmed? Oh. Most of us, yeah. It's not like I didn't grow up. I was watching them same Disney movies. That's how I know.
Most of us. Yeah.
We was watching these same movies. Mm-hmm. And now the movies is even worse. Way worse than what we was watching. Way worse. But guess what? That's programming. If Coca-Cola being a soda company, they spend billions, and this is the last time I talk about this, but this is always fascinates me. It'll never not fascinate me. They spend billions because the first thing is people don't like to be sold to. When you find there's a million salesmen out here, right? Every time you get a call, hey, sir, we were wondering if you were interested in poop. Click. Boop. How did they get my number? I don't even want to be sold to. It's irritating. So the first thing is, okay, well, how do we make this commercial not feel like we're trying to sell them something? Okay, let's not include a price of our product. What else do we need to do? Well, most people remember things by association. A is for Apple. Apple. Okay. So now we need them to associate our drink with something. Oh, I know. I got it. Everybody, we've been selling them the Disney movies and the love, right? Watch this. I'm going to show a happy man. And he's got to have a happy woman. Ooh, make it a black girl, interracial. Mm-hmm. Now give them a light-skinned child that kind of looks like both of them. This is sin, right? You're being sold on the sin. You're being sold on the iniquity. You're being sold on a way that's perverse and against the ways of the Most High. But guess what? The climax isn't the man and the woman and their little racially ambiguous daughter. The climax is that they're at a park and they're having a picnic and they just all love each other so much. But guess what soda? They're going to open up their cooler. They got one cooler between the three of them, and it's got 27 sodas. No food in that cooler. It's just Pepsi and Coca-Cola. And all they want you to do is see how happy this family with this Coca-Cola is. And you don't even feel like you were sold anything. You just associate Pepsi and Coca-Cola with happiness. So now when you go to the park with your girl and your kid, man, I gotta get Coca-Cola with it. Because Coca-Cola means family. Because Coca-Cola means success. Because Coca-Cola means happiness. Mm-hmm. If they plant that in your mind, what else are they planting? Yep. A lot of people from other countries, they love Fanta, they love Pepsi, because it represents prosperity. It makes them think of America. So when they having a good time, they at a wedding, They got to have a cake. You got to have the attire. You got to have tuxedos because that's what I've seen on TV. But what's our soda of choice? We finna have a Fanta or we finna have Pepsi because that's how you do it big.
Don't you want Fanta?
Don't you wanna? But it's in our minds. So if they can do that with soda, imagine what they could do with sin.
Yep.
And all the while, we never recognize the Lord is the one that brings up. The Lord is the one. Oh man, it was some rapper. He recently lost his child. He was like, man, you know, he just going through it. And Charleston White came out and was like, man, F you in that kid. He cold with it. But the crazy part about it is instead of taking that approach, somebody should just sit down and tell him like, hey, bro, you probably lost your child because you was a street nigga and you was killing people. And you see that hopelessness and that frustration you feel because your child is gone with circumstances beyond your control. How many mothers and fathers have you made feel that way? The Most High is a just God, and he's telling you, because the devil did it. He said, I'm the one that's giving the devil authorization. I'm the one that gives him permission. That's what thus saith the Lord. There's nothing that happens where we get touched in our lives. He said, there's nothing that happens without the Most High's okay. And then eventually, if you get bad enough, he don't even have to sign off every little act that Satan wants to do. He just be like, look, man, you could just have him. He said, deliver such a one up to Satan. Just give him over. Yep. Whatever it is you want at this point, I don't need to sign off on one act. I'm going to sign the executive order. You can have that one. They've been wicked. I've been trying to work with them. They still want to break the Sabbath. They still want their money. They still want they in your hand. You want to make them sick, make them sick. You want to make them broke, make them broke. You want to make them, go ahead. And we, all the while, trying to figure out why stuff is going on in our lives, and we don't acknowledge the Most High. 1 Corinthians 7, let's start at verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife have not power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband have not power over his own body, but the wife.
Go ahead.
Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. But I speak this by permission and not of commandment.
So let's break this down. So he said he speaks this by permission. First and foremost, some people look at that and be like, see, that ain't law. But he said, I got permission to put this in here. Who do you think he asked? He's asking, getting the authorization for Christ. Well, king, my king, this is what I think would be valuable. And Christ said, okay, put that in there. Yeah. That's going to be immortalized in my word. You don't think this is important? Just because he said, well, this is me and this is what I think. Christ saw this valuable enough to put it in the word. The Most High saw this valuable enough to put it in the word, immortalized for all of Israel to read for eternity. So don't take, I got permission as some light thing. He's saying, look, this is just as important as everything else that's written in this Bible because it's in this Bible. Now, most of the time we look at this and we say, this is only talking about sex. But what does benevolence mean? Because we're talking about the law. And it's not like when you get married, okay, you got to keep the law everywhere. But then in your house, like that still has to be within, a man rules his house as he sees fit. But there's still parameters, right? Talk about this benevolence. The quality of being well-meaning, kindness. Everyday acts like holding doors and tutoring for free. Large acts of philanthropy like donating to hospitals, and character traits like a kind, generous spirit seen in volunteering, mentoring, or simply showing compassion and a willingness to do good for others without expecting reward. Just by saying benevolence, he's saying, well, look, you got to do good in your marriage. And don't keep people talk about all the time not keeping score in your marriage. Because then it becomes a tit for tat. Look, I rubbed your back yesterday. I'm not giving you another massage till I get one. What type of submission is that? What type of love is that? But sometimes you're going to have to do certain things and extend yourself, but that's the whole thing. That's what you signed up for when you decided to get married. You have a lot of people that make the decision to get married, and now all of a sudden when things are difficult or things are uncomfortable, well, I no longer want this, or I'm going to take things away from you because you're not behaving the way that I should. Hold on. The first thing is you don't have power over your own body, because guess what? What's in the world that's real popular when you're having trouble in relationships? You're going to withhold. Yeah. You withhold. Oh, he in the doghouse. And what does that do for a man who everything is about competition and everything is about, I'm going to go get it, and you're going to sit up here and tell me then you got dudes that be like, nothing for you tonight. And he said, no, nothing from you tonight. So guess what? Now, because, and guess what's being pushed to the man? He's not a man until he got some. That's in schools. That's middle school kids, high school kids. They are policing each other. Oh man, you ain't got none yet? I should smell this. That's in public school. This is what your kids are experiencing if they in public school. I don't care who you think is in that room. Little John and little so-and-so. Oh, he's just your baby. Check that phone. Check that iPad. Check that computer. He probably way more versed than what you think he is. She probably way more versed than what you think she is.
Facts.
Because the world is promoting that sin to them. They bring it to your door. Now the technological age, mom, dad, I need a cell phone. You got kids, little kids, able to recognize adult film stars. Because what have they been watching? What have they been exposed to? So all that to say, when that gets promoted to the woman and she tries that in her marriage, which is much like Adam and Eve, she wasn't a physical fruit. She was given an ideal, an idea. She was giving a philosophy that she wanted to go exercise to be able to be equal to her husband. Well, he's in charge, but what if I just take away what he wants? I bet then a man start acquiescing, right? Then he'd be like, let me compromise a little bit because I'm looking to get but that's what you owe. You ain't working for that.
Right.
That's what you owe me. That's what you owe her.
Right.
But benevolence isn't just that. It said doing good without expecting a reward. You might not get rewarded for every little thing. I just feel like you can give me more compliments and, hey, guess what? Not every time, because, what are you, a dog? I'm going to give you a treat every time you do something good? I'm going to piss somebody off. But, come on, be real. You're not an animal. I'm not going to treat you the way I would treat a dog. I tell a dog, sit. He sit, I give him a bone. And he chop that up. He ready for the next one. All right, let me see what else I can teach you. Down. Now you go flat. Roll over. He do that. All right, cool. Here goes 2 more treats because you're doing so well. I'm not going to treat you like a dog in a marriage. I'm not going to reward you every time you do something little because this is not only what I'm expecting, but I'm going twain with you. We're a team. Sometimes you get some glory. Sometimes you don't get some glory. Sometimes you get what you're looking for. Sometimes you don't get what you're looking for. Sometimes it's right on time. Sometimes there's a delay. But that's why the scriptures talk about looking at the ant, because they don't put themselves above the benefit of the colony. If an anthill is flooded out, they will join their bodies together and create a float so that the future of the colony endures. But again, that's only found in this Bible. That's found in this law. But if we're not applying this, then we're going to have these issues. And mind you, Paul was over the churches. He knew what issues they were dealing with. He got to see firsthand, damn, you telling me in Corinth and way over here in Colossae and then way over there in Thessalonica and then way back, damn, they all dealing with struggles with their marriage and sexual immorality? So I gotta say something about this. Paul knew what was going on with Israel on a wide scale, in so much that he said, man, I need to write something down. Lord, can I put this in this? Can I put this in there? Because I hear a lot about these marriages. Let me write this down. If we're applying this, you're going to get everything you're looking for and more, male and female. Community and larger scale acts, volunteering at a soup kitchen, donating to charities, mentoring someone, providing aid after a disaster, lending a hand on a project outside your duties, sharing lunch with a lowly colleague, being happy for a coworker's success, sticking up for someone being gossiped about. This is all benevolence.
You
So
know,
when
you know what came to my mind when you said tit for tat, and the person that came to mind who showed a perfect example of due benevolence was Abigail.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, because it says sticking up for someone being gossiped about. Abigail, well, he wasn't gossiping, but Abigail could have easily been like, oh, finally, my knight in shining armor.
Right.
King David's going to kill this evil wicked bastard. Like, I'm free. Finally, the Lord has looked upon my cause.
Right.
I've just been good for so long. And Lord, I'm just so tired of doing for this. And mind you, she really had a husband that was that bad.
Right.
She had to even open up with, hey, look, he's such a son of the devil that can't nobody talk to him. Can't nobody tell him nothing. He prideful. He don't listen. He just so happened to have a bag. He just so happened to be rich.
Right.
But the dude is, I'm pretty sure he was rude.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he was rude because
Yeah,
he said, who is David?
Yeah.
You know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He should have been like, David, the giant slayer, David, slayer of Goliath, David, deliverer of Israel, David, the sweet psalmist. You gonna act like you don't know David?
Right.
Everybody know David.
Right.
But he rude. He like, man, basically, who are you to me?
Mm-hmm.
Cold-blooded. So all of these are due benevolence, right? So these are all things that are beneficial, but not only beneficial, but expected in a marriage. That's what you sign up for. If you like to sleep in and you don't want to have to do nothing, and he said you didn't sin if you stay alone. But most people want to be married, want kids, want someone to spend their time. He said, so this is what's expected.
Mm-hmm.
Not only with your body as far as not refusing intimacy, but there's a lot of just that little stuff. And I only know one person that don't like the extras on their burger. I always use this example, but it's one person I know that don't like. But most people, if you give them, most people, if you give them 2 slices of bread, a patty, and a slice of cheese, they be like, what is this? Where's all the little stuff that really makes this a burger? I want the mayo. I want the chipotle sauce on there. I want some onion and some tomato and some pickle and some lettuce. Give me all the little things that really isn't the main component of the meal, because now if I give you the lettuce, tomato, and the pickles, but then I take away the beef and the cheese, well, you'd be like, that's not a burger either. Mm-hmm. Right? But the little things really set it off. That you was being so considerate. I love you for that. You're so respectful. I love you for that. You helped me through my tough days. I love you for that. Ain't that a song? It is recent. I don't have these, it ain't like I'm going old school, but he said, you don't need someone that makes you feel better than you ever felt. What you need is someone to be there for you when you don't feel yourself. I don't feel like me right now. I feel like something's wrong. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling pressured. I'm feeling low. And someone's there to help you up. And someone's there to love you through those seasons where you might need a little extra pushing to get to where you need to go. Teamwork. That's the ideal marriage. And obviously, the man being the head, the woman's going to be on his program. It's not that he can never help or love his wife, but you have to acquiesce to him being an authority far more than he has to acquiesce to you. But guess what? When you do it, the Bible shows us that that's what works. Mm-hmm. How are we supposed to be equal in this? And we supposed to be equal partnership? Ain't no company in the world that works like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. If I got 50% power and you got 50% power, when you say go left and I say go right, where are we supposed to go?
To the middle.
we stuck. Exactly. We stuck. we gonna do this forever. But these real companies with these real businessmen, even when they sell stock, right? They sell shares, and they'll be like, they won't sell it to zero and just be like, well, I'm the CEO, it's on paper. No, they'd be like, I'm not gonna sell more than 40% or 30% of my stock. I'm gonna keep 23%. Now the rest of it can go split up to the world. And I guarantee you they're paying attention to who's getting close. What's the next highest stockholder? 16%. Oh, that's only 7% away from me. What's the difference in our shares? Oh, your shares are worth $1 billion and his is worth, what did I say? Damn, I should have kept track of the numbers. 27, so 7% less than a, let's just say $1 million. Like 70,000, no. Man, whatever. The whole point is they're paying attention to that to say, let me make sure that nobody gets too close to getting equal in power because I'll lose this position. Mm-hmm. It can never work with there being everyone's just equal and all of our opinions matter. That's not how you run anything. Right. Not a business, not a company, not a kingdom, not a household. Right. So there has to be someone in charge who everyone acquiesces to and is on, and everyone else is on their time. Mm. And guess what? In the household, that's the man. That's the man. For Israelites, that's Yahushai. For Yahushai and the rest of Israel, that's the Most High. You're always on someone else's time. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be equals. It's not going to work. Last one. Let's go to Joshua 1:8. If we could get these things right, we'd have already been out of here. But that's why they invest so much. That's why, again, that's why all these people, they be like, oh, I just have such a terrible story and such a terrible background. They like, man, I'm going to give you a microphone. I want you to talk about that terrible background every chance you get. Because they want people to see those stories. They want people to have fear. They want you to have enough in your mind to feel justified to rebel. The Most High said I'm supposed to do it like that, but I just can't submit to no man. I'm just, Then you go and, okay, I'm going to submit, but then you still going to do things your way. You still going to refuse and abstain from your body. And then when that man goes out and he wants to get another woman, now, oh, well, I knew that was coming too because all men are dogs. that is out there one way or another. It's out there in so many different ways. So all of that's being pushed to you, but none of that, how much of that is according to the law? None of that's according to the law. None of that's according to what the Most High would have us to be. Joshua 1:8.
Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. Mm-hmm. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. Uh-huh. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
So guess what? Not only do our enemies know this, because they say, oh, whatever you focused on all day, every day, that's what you're going to become. So we'll just give them cell phones and iPads and computers, and we'll give them all these things that can occupy their time. And we'll make sure on these platforms, we're teaching them what we want them to know. But he said, if we flip the script, and instead of watching all the negativity and all the unsuccessful marriages and all the drama and all the BS, because like you can watch a show and walk away feeling frustrated. You can watch a show and walk away feeling heavy. You can watch something and walk away feeling motivated. It all plays a role. But now if you're talking about if you're talking about righteousness, you can walk away feeling righteous. Focus on righteousness. You watch some motivation that made you want to get up and I'm going to set some goals. And yeah, I do got to get my stuff together. Guess what? When you start reading about this and you say, oh man, these are sins that I'm committing and this is how serious it is, it makes you be like, I'm going to get my stuff together. When you hear about righteous men on a continuous basis and you see the sacrifices our forefathers made, it makes you feel like, dang, I want to continue on that legacy. Dang, all of these things and all these events that have ever happened in the Bible, it all led to here and now so that me and my people can exist. It makes you feel a sense of pride in your people, feel a sense of purpose, feel a sense of motivation and determination. Yeah. Well, what role can I play? All right, well, maybe you're not a soldier, but soldiers got to eat. Maybe you're not a soldier, but soldiers got to communicate. Maybe you're not a soldier, but soldiers have to organize. All of these different roles, or even just in the society, what do soldiers protect? They're protecting a nation. Well, you're a member of that nation. What do you bring to that nation? What can you add? What can you create? What can you benefit? Who can you help? How can you uplift? Who can you save? But success and failure, better yet, success all starts with us putting away our sin.
Yeah. One thing we got to understand is that our forefathers never compromised in captivity.
Right.
Never. As a matter of fact.
The righteous ones.
The righteous ones, yeah. As a matter of fact, the ones that you actually read about were actually put in high positions because they did not follow the laws of the land.
Right.
They didn't submit to the new world order. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Mordecai, Joseph, Moses. They all had high positions in these kingdoms, and they were exalted because they did not compromise the Most High God's laws at all. At all. So for us to be in this truth and call ourselves Israelites and knowing where we came from and to teeter-tatter along, I'm going to just work on the Sabbath. I'm going to wear pants and I think in Samuel, it was either in Judges or Samuel. I believe it. No, it was in 1 Kings, where some of David's men got their beards shaved off and their buttocks exposed. That was a shame. He said, don't come back until, your beard grow back.
He gave him some time off.
Give him some time off. Yeah, that's a shame. Showing your nakedness and stuff, it's a shame. But yet people claim to be in the truth. Men and women, shaving their beards and sisters wearing pants and not putting on your fringes and breaking the least commandments. You won't be in the kingdom of heaven. Our forefathers and our foremothers died because they didn't want to eat pork.
Right.
They will call that a least commandment.
That's a major one.
It is major, but a lot of our people will call it a least one. These days. But that's the point. It was major to our people. Did they put pepperoni on this pizza? Let me just take this off. I'm going to just eat.
Right.
No, bro, throw that away. Throw that away. It's defiled. But I'm just going to the store real quick. I'm going to just throw this shirt on without, walking out the house without your fringes. The scriptures say that you should have your fringes on this throughout your generations. Throughout your generations, it didn't specify, this is when you stop wearing fringes.
Right.
Keeping the Sabbath. When Christ walked the earth, they were still keeping the Sabbath. They was walking and picking off the tree. They didn't cook nothing. They was, they was keeping the Sabbath. They was observing the Sabbath. What's wrong with our people that they don't want to uphold the law? That's the only way we get out of this. And what does it look like? We still look like the world. We still look like America. What makes us set apart?
Right.
When you start watching these nations come together, you'll see these people, Arabians, for example. They stay in their garments. Right. They stay with their little turbans on, and they don't come with no two-piece suit on. What Esau gonna tell them? They got Arab money. They rock their culture, and that's what we don't do. We want to look like how we grew up. That's what we want to look like. We don't want to look like we're Israelites. We don't want to look like how the Bible describes us to be. We don't want to be that. So it's important, man. You got to get back to culture. You got to get back to what your forefathers did. And if you want to know what your forefathers did, all you got to do is look to the nations that's still over there. Even the bootleg Jews who took your religion and called it their own, the women still, none of them wear pants. They all rock their little all black with their skirt on. It looks stupid, but they still rocking. They all wear them dumb suits with the hat. Like,
Yeah.
but what we do, I want to be my individual self. God said, come as you are.
It's not.
It's not in the Bible.
But our people be convinced. Come on, well, all praises to the Most High, Israel. You know, it's a serious thing, and we getting closer and closer to the time that it's the end. Like, let's not start to get discouraged. Let's not start to. Now is the time to get stronger. That's what the scriptures say. We didn't read Hebrews 10:25, but it said not to forsake the assembling of ourselves as the manner of some is, but rather provoking each other to good works. Because we like, bro, we getting closer. Don't take that risk. Don't do this. Don't do that. You need somebody that's going to help you with those things when you have those moments, because we can convince ourselves of whatever it is that we want.
And you got to realize, like, just because you come into the truth don't mean that things are going to automatically get better. Like, there's Satan is on the mission. Your enemy is on the mission. And the mission is to, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these Negroes who run camps are sellouts. They got to check just to keep you in confusion, to keep you on track of how things are set up. And to keep you from congregating. Oh, camps, I hate camps. I'm going to just go be an individualite.
You know what's crazy though? They probably didn't get some crazy contract with some crazy big red man. They're just already sinful individuals.
Yes.
So Esau says, oh, look what this dude talking about. Hey, tune the algorithm to have him pop up.
Yep.
Because all we need to do is just push him. Mm-hmm. He said you can cook on the Sabbath. Women don't have to wear pants. You could do. Oh man, we need this guy popping to him like yesterday.
Yep.
And guess what? All of Israel seemed to flock to him, and they seem to always have a lot of views and a lot of. Esau's like, yes, because they real close to knowing something. But now they become worse than in the world, because at least the world don't know.
They taskmasters, bro.
Yeah.
They keeping you in sin. You see how they don't talk about getting your character together. See, they don't talk about how you need to really keep these commandments. It's really not about that. It's not.
Right.
It's not. It's about, let me teach you about the giants. Let me teach you about prophecy and what's going to happen. They never teach you about or getting on you about what you need to do to fix yourself so you can make it in that number.
Right.
To get to the kingdom. It's never about that. Never.
And then when you get concerned about the kingdom and you have questions, oh, well, we all going to be saved.
That's it.
Let me come up with a new hot, fresh pile for you to indulge.
So you pick your poison. Pick your poison. What you want to do? Red pill, blue pill.
Man.
You say you in this truth, but are you in the faith? Are you in the faith? Because a lot of us right now in this community, we ain't showing that we showing that we ain't got no faith. Because we ain't doing no works. All we doing is tuning in online. Oh, got my daily fix. What are you doing after that? Are you teaching the sisters how to sew? Are you teaching the sisters how to cook? Brothers, are you teaching the brothers how to war? Are you teaching them how to be fathers at home? What do you?
Right, because the scriptures even talk about that the aged women teach the young women to love their husbands, to love their children. People be insulted like, I know how to love, and you have to be taught.
Yes.
You don't have to make the same mistakes as all the generations before you when there's someone there that can say, hey, this seems like the right thing to do. I used to do that when I was that age, but this is what's better.
That's literally how you build a kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
If you read your Bible, you will see how the ark was made. You will see how the tabernacle was made. You will see how when we went to wars and the temples was destroyed and we were released and we were able to go back to the land, and you see how people put in their money and gave their expertise and put in their brick. That's how you build a kingdom. You don't build a kingdom by just sitting online and just scrolling and watching debates, and that's not how you build a kingdom.
Right.
So what are we working towards? What are we really trying to do? We think we're still in Christianity, or we think Christ is just going to come and rapture us and we're going to go into the sky with him?
Right. And now that you know, you never knew what to do, but I'm going to show you fresh right here and now. For the first time.
You got to put in the work yourself. That's all I got.
All praises. So all praise to the Most High, Israel. We appreciate you tuning in with us. We appreciate, the support. Please continue to tune in with us tomorrow. We have Bishop Yaziku at 2 p.m. Eastern. No, that's 2 p.m. our time.
Yes.
2 p.m. Pacific, Salakia, 5 p.m. Eastern. And then we have Feed the Sheep at 4:30 our time, Pacific Standard Time. All praise to the Most High, Israel. Shalom.
Shalom.
If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be. Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 16